Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Out Loud and In Progress, where real talk lives, healing happens, and no part of the journey gets left behind. I'm Leyah Sunshine, and around here, we speak on love, grief, friendship, growth, and everything that life throws in the mix. This podcast ain't about being perfect. It's about being real, messy, magical, and still in motion. And sometimes we're going to do some laughing, some learning, but I promise to always be transparent with you and keep it real. So whether you're unfolding, unlearning, or just trying to hold it together, you do not have to do it alone. You can do it with me, Leyah Sunshine. So let's get into it.
Laughing through the lessons, growing real fast. No fake pop, just heart and finesse. Killing ain't linear, but we still say yes. We moving forward, flaws and all. Crying, loving, rising from the fall. This ain't polish, it's process, baby. But we keep showing up, even when it's shaky out. And in progress, so talking through the process. To life, we unpacking the stress with good vibes, big laughs, say less. What?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Out Loud and In Progress. And I am your host, Leyah Sunshine, and I am so happy to be back with you guys. And, I was really struggling with what the next episode would be because I felt like the last couple of episodes were more about communication and how we communicate and our intimate relationships, friendships with family, etc. So today we are going to talk about where my friends at. This episode is for all the grown folks out there wondering where your friends at. Not just in the group chat, not just we should link up sometimes crew, but the real deal, pull up, call you back, see your soul, and see you for who you are type of friendships. Because if we can be real with ourselves, it's been hard. At least it's been hard for me. At least the last few years of my life, I would say, has been really hard. And I think it's because I'm transitioning and I'm not the same person I used to be. And I'm looking for more fulfilling relationships at this stage in my life. So we're going to talk about those things and why it's maybe been hard for some of us. So why are adult friendships so darn complicated? There's a few reasons because everybody's busy, right? I mean, at least I know I am. I'm on a different career path, moving up the ladder. I have a lot of different side things I'm doing, social media. I just picked up this podcast, blogging, etc. And, my husband in the last year, he has had a heart transplant. So we're transitioning into that new life. Our children are becoming more busy because now they're in high school. So you have sports and extracurriculars and different things. And then also wanting to spend time with family, trips, travel, doing things. And sometimes, when you do all of those things, you're just plain old burnt out. I know sometimes I am burnt out from putting my everything into other people and not myself. So sometimes it's just hard to continue those adult friendships, cultivate those adult friendships, and sustain those adult friendships because we are getting older and our lives are busier and there are just things that are on our plate that sometimes we just can't wipe off at the moment. So that's totally understandable because being an adult is hard, okay? Now, do I want to go back? To being a teen or a child? Probably not. But being an adult is hard business. So if your friendship is, fizzling because of that, that could be one of the reasons why. We're just tired sometimes emotionally. and physically. I know I am. Like, especially after I've had a hard day at work, sorting things out with people, managing people. Sometimes mentally, I'm just not in the mood to deal with other things. I have to, go in the room, just take a minute for myself, do something that fulfills me, whether it's read a book. My favorite thing lately is just looking at YouTube videos because they're just short and sweet. So sometimes we are just burnt out. And physically, if we're doing physical jobs, you work out in the sun, you're lifting, bending. Sometimes you just may not feel like cultivating those adult friendships. And then, back in the day, our friendships used to be proximity based, right? Because we would all go to middle school together, elementary school together, high school together. And then even after you got out of school, you probably were still in the same college or at least in the same neighborhood or city. But as we've gotten older, we've become more distant, gotten jobs in other states, other places. So now it just really takes being intentional to sustain those relationships. And intentionality is just really setting aside time to say, hey, girl, or, hey, man, I'm going to come visit you. Hey, do you have time at this month, this date? Are you free at this time? And that does take, work. And sometimes as well, people just ghost you. Like, you don't talk to them for a long time. They just disappear. And it could be, again, for several reasons. Maybe they just don't want to deal with you, or because they're busy and they have sunken and disappeared into their own lives dealing with their own thing. And that's understandable too. So adult friendships, as I see them, it's like a group project. You don't have a deadline though, and there's no group leader, and everybody got something else going on. So it's like a bunch of people working together, but not really working together. And there's no set outline, no deadline, but everybody's got something else going on. And then at the end of the day, we're supposed to come together. But sometimes life just leads us in other direction. So I thought about this the other day. And I said, as an adult, where and how do we find new friends? And I'm going to tell y'all something. And at the time, I just thought this was so silly. I feel so, so, so silly. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I put out something on Facebook and a few Facebook groups, and I believe it was even on my personal Facebook page. And I created a really nice post, saying that I was just looking for people to talk to that could be potential friends, someone that you can call when you just want to talk, or maybe just go out to dinner or do something fun. No pressure, but just somebody that could end up being a good friend. And I had two people reach out to me. One was a woman and another one was a woman. And the two women friendships actually are going really well for me. We haven't actually met in person yet, one of them. But I hope in the future that we get to meet, because she is really, really awesome, a great career woman. She has a family as well. And she actually boosted me up when I really, really needed her and I had no one else to talk to. So shout out to her. She really, really came in a cinch when I needed someone to talk to and I was really feeling down. One of those friendships actually ended up being really fulfilling. The other one, we knew each other and met each other before within a group, but she reached out to me. We actually did a video chat and we were just talking about our lives and what we were going through. And now we end up just being a support system for each other when we need an ear for each other. And she reached out to me, I believe it was earlier today. And she said, hey, just want to catch up with you. When will you be available for a video chat? And I was like, oh, that was so nice. I was like, look, how about this weekend? She was like, sure. So, just for her reaching out and realizing, hey, it's been a while since I've talked to her, or a while since we've connected. Let's do this. And actually making a plan to do it, because sometimes we keep saying, oh, we're going to do it, 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 and never do it. After a while, for me, that kind of gets annoying, I think, and it becomes monotonous. So after a while, you just stop asking when the person doesn't actually lock down something. So I appreciate her too for actually being there and being a support. And I'm sure she appreciates me being a support to her too. So having said that, where can we meet people? Where can we meet new friends? Hey, you guys could probably do what I did. Just put something out on Facebook because you never know. Like, people may be looking for the same thing too, and they're just afraid to put it out there. And I don't blame them. Afraid of putting yourself out there. You're putting your heart on your sleeve to get it hurt, maybe smashed. But you know what? If you never try, guess what? You'll never know. There was a certain point in my life where my friendships just did not serve me any purpose, and they just did me dirty in all kind of ways, and I just shut myself off. I really did. I was so untrusting of people. And my husband actually told me, he said, you can't keep doing this. You can't do this for long. It won't sustain you. You need to make friends. You need to get out there. And that's what motivated me actually to open myself back up again and start meeting people and, putting my best foot forward and at least opening myself up to the possibility. Now, did I learn some lessons from that? Of course, because I am a giving and kind person, and not everybody deserves that part of you. But at the same time, if I don't at least try or give it a chance, I could miss out on a great opportunity to meet a great person that I have wonderful things in common with. So I'm glad that I got out of that and actually started putting myself out there. So yeah, put it out there on Facebook groups, hobby groups, people that have stuff in common with you. Why not? Go to a community event and meet some new people. Be open to saying once you get out there and meet people, or, whether it's social media or in person, be okay and be open with saying, hey, you're cool. Can we hang out? Can we do something? Can I get your number? Can we text? And trust me, I know that fear of rejection sometimes stops us from doing these things. But guess what? If you don't do it, you'll never know. So be open to it. Be open to apps like Bumble BFF. I've been on Bumble BFF before. I have met people on Bumble BFF, not in person, but just by texting. But that is a good tool as well. Now, of course, you can meet 10 people and 9 of them don't match with you, or 9 of them don't mesh. That's okay. Just keep trying. But that is a good tool. Or volunteering or joining things that's tied to your values and interests. That could be a great way as well to meet new people or meet new friends. And guys, this is the truest statement ever. Making friends as an adult feels like dating, but without the romantic excuses to be clingy. That's interesting. Honestly, making adult friends is like dating, except for with the romantic part. You don't have that. You should treat your adult friendships like you do your romantic relationships, again, without the romance, without the sexual connection, because both should be a person that you can lean on, depend on, talk to, trust, and all of those things. So at this stage in my life, that's how I look at it. If I cannot be myself with you, whether it's romantic or platonic, then we cannot be friends. I want to be my true, authentic, weird, quirky, questionable self and not, be judged by it. So I know that race, culture, and belonging has a lot to do with how we make friends and how we sustain those friendships. Me personally, I have no problems with making friends from other religions, cultural backgrounds, beliefs, because for me, I am open to learning anything that's outside of my box and comfort zone. Because if I stay in my box, I can never evolve. I can never grow. I can never be a better person or strive to be a better person every day. And then on the other hand, it's also important to be around my people, my culture, people that look like me, because then I don't have to explain my slang, maybe how I dress, how I eat, how I walk, how I talk, explain my grief, explain my joy, because people that look like me and have experiences like me, they wouldn't question it. They would understand it, or at least understand a part of it. But I'm definitely open to all of this and everything under that spectrum and rainbow. And you should be too, because you never know, like going outside of your box and comfort zone could be where you meet your person, your friend. So think about it that way as well. And sometimes it's not that we can't make friends, it's that we're just tired of being the only one that gets us. So that's why it's important to get out there. Don't be afraid. Try something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Find people that look like you to be friends with and find people that don't look like you to be friends with, because you never know where you'll find your friendship after kids. That can be rough. My kids are a little older now, so it is getting like a little bit easier for me to navigate and get out. But I do understand that, when they're smaller and you may have friends that don't have children, that could be a little complicated. And how I did it when my children was smaller, I actually joined play date groups that had children that were close in my children's age, similar in age, around their age. And I do understand that that could help, but that is definitely not a replacement, and they don't always nourish you in the way that you would like. It can sustain, but it won't nourish. But it is a way to at least maybe get your feet wet and start making friends, and then you can expand from there. And then you never know, too, like within that mommy group or parent group, you could make an actual friend that would stretch outside of that group. So that would be great, too.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And then when you do have just friends or associates that have children, sometimes that's all they talk about. Children, 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 what their children's doing, how they're doing. And that could become overwhelming too. You need some people around you that's going to talk about some other things. Let's go out. Let's have a drink. Let's do, something crazy. Let's do something different. So again, that's why it's important to have all different types of friends all over the rainbow, because you still need people who see you, not just the diaper bag, not just the carpool schedule, not just the class schedule, but you. So for you guys out there that have friends, how do you keep them? How do you keep the friends that you already have? And also, let's say you've taken all these tips and you find a friend, right, from these tips. How do you keep that friend? You need to have grace for the life seasons and the life changes, but stay in touch. Like if they don't contact you for a while, it's okay. Reach out to them, check on them. Hey, just wanted to check on you, make sure you're okay, because life be life, and y'all, like seriously, like even for me, I have things sometimes that just happen back to back to back to back. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why? What is going on? But you know what? I still have those people that will check on me. How you doing? You okay? After they, haven't heard from me in a while. And I do appreciate that, because to be a friend, you don't have to talk to them every day. You just have to stay connected and understand that life happens and it's okay. And we'll check on each other, when we can and periodically. But just know that when that other person needs you, just try to be there. You could just send some memes. Like, I know that's my favorite. That's my love language. I'll send a meme or an emoji or something like that. Sometimes I'll leave a voice note and just check in, so that you can hear my voice. I love doing that for the people that I care about. And also just, when the distance is growing, right? Speak honestly. Let them know what's been going on in your life and why maybe you've become distant. And then maybe that would give them a clearer understanding, because I'm gonna be honest, like for me, sometimes when that distance is growing, I look at it as it's something I've done. Like, what did I do? But that's not always the case. And I know a lot of us out there have a tendency to internalize things. But sometimes it's not you, it's just life. So that's why it's important for us to be able to communicate clearly with our people and let them know what's really going on and maybe why we've been distant. And then just be understanding. People don't usually outgrow friendships. They outgrow silence in friendships. Because that silence just allows us to feel like we don't need that person anymore. They don't fulfill that need. But it's only because we haven't heard from them in a while. So just remember, like, again, just try to stay in contact as best as you can and keep that communication open. Because I know I've had a lot of friendships, and some of them were just for a season. Some of them I don't talk to anymore, but I still think about often because I do understand that sometimes it's not anything that they've done or I've done, but sometimes it's just time. There are friendships like that where it's time. It's time for you guys to go your separate ways because maybe you've been stifling each other and you don't even know, because sometimes that can happen. Maybe you weren't supporting each other in the way that you thought, or maybe it was just not good for you at the time. And it's okay. I don't look at those friendships that I don't have anymore as negative. I don't look at the people as negative. I look back on it and say, I had fun. That served a purpose in my life for that particular time. I love them. I wish them well. I hope that they're getting everything that they want and wanted out of life. And maybe one day will the wind blow my direction again? It's possible. But if it doesn't, guess what? I still am okay. And I still have love for them. And more importantly, I have love for myself. Life sometimes just goes that way. And we just need to be understanding about that and understand that. This is all my da, life goes on. Life goes on. Who haven't you text in a while? Who haven't you called in a while? Think about it. If it's someone, reach out. Send them that text to check on them. Give them a call. Send a voice note. If you miss them, reach out and check on them because you never know. You may check on them just at the right time. What kind of friend do you need right now? I'm going to tell you what kind of friend I need right now because I think we need to say it out loud. The kind of friend I need right now would be supportive, understanding, open, that knows how to communicate even when something is going wrong. Someone that cares about every essence of me. And when I say that, not judgmental, that I could tell them anything. And even if they did not understand, that they would be supportive and allow me to grow within that with their love and support. Someone that's mature. When I say mature, I don't mean like just serious all the time, but mature in those areas that they need to be when it's time, but then also knows how to let their hair down and be fun, know how to just laugh at situations and enjoy life. So what kind of friend do you need right now? Maybe if you say it out loud, it'll come to pass. Because sometimes you got to just put it out there in order to say, you know what, that is what I need. And then you can look for those qualities in others. Now, this is a good question that I'm going to ask you guys. Are you creating space for new friendships, or are you stuck in old ones out of habit? I know I am creating space for new friendships, and I talked about that a little earlier in the podcast. I'm opening myself up for the possibility. I'm not closed. I show myself friendly so that at least this space can be inviting for someone that could be that potential support and friend. As far as being stuck in old ones out of habit, I've been there too. And I've realized that they are still friends, but maybe not in the way that it has been before. And that I may still be their friend, but it may be the same on that end as well. And that's okay. Sometimes you do have an old friend that is the greatest friend and you guys still do everything together and you are great. But sometimes you have that old friend that it may not be in that same space. And that's fine. Just don't be stuck in that. Don't feel some kind of way about that. Don't feel remorse or disdain about it. It is what it is. Everything has its place, its time in the universe, and it's okay. Don't get stuck in it. Check on that person when you can. Love on that person when you can, and it'll be okay. And guess what? More importantly, out of all of this I said, nothing can happen unless you love on yourself too. I'm a big advocate about loving yourself first, knowing how to love yourself, knowing what you need before you can require someone else to fulfill those needs as well, and whether it's platonic or romantic. So, guys, I have been through so many ups and downs in friendship, and sometimes as a only child, I have felt obligation to do certain things just to have people in my life. I have told people this before in my past. I am not the same Leyah Sunshine that you have known. I am not that 15 through 25-year-old that you may have known. I am a different person, a different being. I have learned from life, and life has learned from me. I have learned from people, situations, and circumstances. And I have evolved into a different person that you see before me. So sometimes those old friends serve their purpose, and sometimes they're just old friends that you just check on every now and then and still wish them well. And so work on you, and everything else will fall into place. So I know friendship isn't easy as we age and, in our adulthood, but it's still important and it's still sacred. And it's not about how often you talk to an individual. It's about how safe you feel when you do, and that is 100% important. So for everyone asking, including myself, where are my friends at? Just know you are not alone in that quest or that question. And your people are out there somewhere. You just need to look and open yourself up to the possibility. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Out Loud and in Progress. And until next week, we'll see you soon. Go back and listen to the other podcasts if you haven't, okay? That'll take up your time until I come back next week. All right, until then, bye. Thank you for listening to Out Loud and in Progress with Leyah Sunshine. If you enjoyed our podcast, please follow us on all social media platforms under Out Loud and in Progress. If you would like to make contact with us, you can email us at outloudandinprogress@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Hope this podcast touched you in some way, shape, or form, and we will see you on the next podcast.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.